The internet is a place where careers are born and die in the blink of an eye. But even by those standards, the footage was absolutely shocking. There he was, Vitaly Zdorovetskiy, the once invincible king of YouTube pranks, looking defeated and desperate. The video, which spread like wildfire across social media platforms, allegedly shows him on the streets in the Philippines, begging strangers for money. This wasn't a prank. This wasn't part of a skit. The swagger was gone, replaced by a raw vulnerability that was both jarring and deeply uncomfortable to watch. For millions who remembered him as the audacious, rule-breaking creator who once had the world at his feet, this was the ultimate fall from grace. This leaked clip painted a grim picture. The man who once flexed with luxury cars, exotic trips, and stacks of cash was now reportedly scrounging for pesos just to survive. Vitaly's entire brand was built on being larger than life, a character who operated outside the normal rules of society and always came out on top. To understand how shocking his fall is, you have to understand just how high he climbed. Vitaly wasn't just another YouTuber, he was a pioneer of the prank genre. He burst onto the scene with chaotic, often controversial, undeniably viral content. His early videos were explosions of staged absurdity that captivated a massive audience. People were drawn to his fearless, almost reckless energy. He was willing to do what others wouldn't dare, pushing social boundaries for entertainment, and millions rewarded him with clicks and subscriptions. His empire, Vitaly Zdorovetskiy, became a behemoth, accumulating billions of views and over 10 million subscribers. He wasn't just making videos, he was crafting a lifestyle brand built on rebellion and extravagance. Vitaly represented a fantasy, a life with no rules, endless money, perpetual adventure. He streaked at the World Cup final. He climbed the Hollywood sign. He surrounded himself with models, fast cars. He was the ultimate internet bad boy, and his audience couldn't get enough. He successfully monetized chaos, turning wild antics into a multi-million-dollar enterprise. The key to his success was his larger-than-life personality. He had natural charisma that drew people in, on-screen and off. This allowed him to build a loyal following that stuck with him through controversies and platform changes. He wasn't just a prankster, he was an icon of internet subculture that celebrated disruption. For a long time, he seemed untouchable, a digital Midas who turned every crazy idea into viral gold. But this rapid ascent laid the groundwork for his eventual undoing. The same formula that made him famous was an unsustainable model. For years, it seemed like Vitaly's money train would never stop. His YouTube ad revenue, combined with lucrative brand deals and merchandise sales, created a river of cash that funded his extravagant lifestyle. But the digital landscape is always shifting, and the platforms that built him up eventually started to turn on him. YouTube's policies grew stricter. The adpocalypse began demonetizing, outright banning the controversial content that was Vitaly's bread and butter. Suddenly, the pranks that once generated hundreds of thousands were earning next to nothing. His main channel was a ghost town. The reliable income stream started to dry up. The loss of his YouTube channel was devastating, but it was just the beginning. Other platforms followed suit. He was banned from Kick.com, a newer streaming site that many saw as his potential comeback vehicle, after his legal troubles became a liability. Reports surfaced that he was banned from Stake.com, a major online casino sponsor, severing another lifeline. Each ban was another door slamming shut, another revenue source disappearing into thin air. He was becoming a digital pariah, too toxic for corporations that had once courted his massive audience. The world of online content was moving on, and Vitaly was being left behind. Without steady internet money, Vitaly had to rely on savings to maintain his high-flying persona. A lifestyle of private jets, luxury rentals, and constant travel burns through cash at an alarming rate. Reports from other creators like Aden Ross began to surface long before his arrest, hinting at Vitaly's financial struggles. He was allegedly selling off assets and borrowing money just to keep up appearances. The invincible millionaire image was becoming a facade, propped up by dwindling funds, and a desperate hope that he could find the next big thing. But the hits kept coming, and his financial cushion was wearing dangerously thin. The financial decline was a slow burn, happening behind the scenes while he projected continued success. But the signs were there for anyone paying attention. The frequency of his content dropped, and production value seemed less polished. He was no longer at the center of the YouTube universe. he was on the periphery, trying to recapture fading magic. The pressure to maintain his brand without income created a perfect storm. It was this financial desperation that pushed him toward reckless decisions. Narrator, VO. With his financial world collapsing, Vitaly's decision-making grew increasingly erratic. Narrator, VO. The move that sealed his fate was his trip to the Philippines. His antics quickly crossed a line. Narrator, VO. He was arrested on charges related to disruptive content. Narrator, VO. But his response was one of baffling arrogance. He believed he had done nothing wrong and that his fame would protect him. Narrator, VO. This miscalculation, believing his online persona could shield him from real-world laws, was his critical error. Narrator, VO. As Vitaly sat in detention, his mother desperately tried to help from afar. Narrator, VO. In fear and confusion, she reportedly fell victim to a devastating crypto scam. Narrator, VO. In her tearful video testimony, she said she sent a large sum to people claiming to be his lawyers. Narrator, VO. They promised to secure his release, preying on a mother's worst fears. Narrator, VO. The money was sent to an anonymous crypto wallet, then vanished, wiping out their resources. Narrator, VO. This was the point of no return, robbing him of funds for proper defense. Narrator, VO. One of the most chilling aspects has been the deafening silence from his former friends and collaborators. Narrator, VO. In his heyday, creators lined up to be featured in his videos, knowing an appearance could launch their careers. Narrator, VO. He was the sun around which smaller creator planets orbited. Narrator, VO. But as soon as the money dried up and legal trouble mounted, that circle evaporated. Narrator, VO. Not a single major creator has stepped up with support. There have been no fundraising efforts, no calls for legal aid. Narrator, VO. It's as if he never existed. Narrator, VO. Perhaps the most telling example comes from Aiden Ross, who was seen casually speculating about how many years Vitaly might spend in prison. Narrator, VO. He treated Vitaly's crisis as just another piece of stream content, a topic for casual debate. Narrator, VO. This cold detachment showcases a culture where personal loyalty is secondary to maintaining one's brand. Narrator, VO. Their silence is a form of social exile, a public declaration that he is no longer one of them. Narrator, VO. He is stranded in a social wasteland, a king with no court and no allies. Vitaly's current situation in the Philippines is a waking nightmare from which there seems to be no escape. Initially arrested and awaiting deportation, the process has been deliberately stalled by local authorities. The US and Russia have allegedly been reluctant to take him back, leaving him in jurisdictional limbo. But the pressing theory is that his lack of funds has made him a pawn in a corrupt system where being broke is the most dangerous position. The legal system is notoriously backlogged. For a foreigner with no resources, it's a terrifying labyrinth. Experts suggest his trial procedures could drag on for 1 or 2 years, if not longer. During this time, he remains in detention where survival depends on paying for basic comforts and protection. His desperation has allegedly driven him to the streets, as seen in leaked footage of him begging for cash. $1 is worth around 57 pesos. He is now reduced to pleading for spare change. The irony is crushing. The man who once flaunted wealth is now dependent on strangers' kindness for his next meal. In the world of professional pranksters, the line between reality and performance is blurred, leading to the inevitable question, is this genuine or an elaborate stunt? However, evidence points to grim reality. The pieces are too numerous and serious to dismiss. Raw, emotional testimony from his mother detailing the crypto scam feels real, not staged. Legal and financial details are verifiable and severe. Platform bans from Kick and Stake are documented. Orchestrating this internationally would require impossible planning. Faking an arrest abroad carries catastrophic consequences. Vitaly's story is more than personal tragedy. It's a cautionary tale for the entire ecosystem of internet fame. It serves as a brutal lesson on the fleeting, disposable nature of online stardom built on shock value and controversy. Audiences and the algorithms that serve them are fickle. Their attention moves on with ruthless speed. This saga exposes the dark underbelly of influencer culture, particularly the illusion of community and friendship. This highlights a reality where relationships are based on clout and mutual benefit rather than genuine loyalty. For aspiring creators, this is a critical lesson. The people celebrating your rise may not catch you when you fall. Building a support system outside the fickle world of online influence is not just advisable, it's essential for survival. Fame is isolating, and as Vitaly discovered, it can be the loneliest place when things go wrong. The central question is whether a comeback is even possible for Vitaly. If he gets out, he returns to a digital landscape that has moved on from his brand of chaotic content. He would be broke, his reputation in tatters, his name synonymous with spectacular fall from grace. While redemption is a powerful narrative, the hole he is in is incredibly deep. It's difficult to see a path back to the top, and perhaps the more important question is whether he should even try. The pursuit of his former glory led him to this point. In the end, Vitaly's story forces us to reflect on what fame truly costs. It's a relentless machine that demands more and more, often leaving creators broken and discarded when they can no longer keep up. He chased virality at all costs, and now he is paying the ultimate price. His journey from YouTube king to a man begging on the streets is a powerful warning about building identity on clicks and views. It's a reminder that behind every viral video and shocking headline, there is a human being. And sometimes the fall is not just content, it's a catastrophe.
Popular YouTuber Vitaly Zdorovetskiy is going viral again.